Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who do we have here tonight? Let me know in the comments where you're coming in from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Put in the comments where you coming in from. We're gonna get in here and talk about what's been going down and with your views in Wayne's world and the world of fictional world of Skitlanta, Georgia. Alan, Philippines. Wow, welcome. Did you watch the Kountry Wayne skits this week? If so, what was your best storyline? Got a few friends Filipino out in Cali. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I love all the different areas. We are going to get in here and recap. It's been an interesting week. One of the things we are going to headline is the Daltons. You already know Amber, Dave, Melissa, Anthony, Shayla. There have been some crazy stuff going on with these Daltons. Where do you think that's going to go? Where do you think it's going to lead? What's going to happen? Is there a lot of trauma that's going down? Yeah, we can talk about it. We've been having a lot to say this week. And also the Bethany storyline. There's some things I think Daddy Newberger has finally opened up his eyes, right? To his daughter, he finally set her straight on things that he's known. He's known these things about her, but he let her get away with a lot. And I think now it's time for her to be put in her place. You think that this is Bethany's karma that's about to happen between her dad putting her out the business, along with Greg. Her cousin seems to be taking over things. She did wrong by her dad. Now that was her ally. She's just trying to get things together with the mom now, but that was her ally. So has she lost an ally? Got Brooke on her way to college. That's basically, she just said recently, that's basically her only friend that she has to talk to. So do you think, oh, hey cute Mallory, where you calling in from? Wife is beautiful the way she is. She's unique in her own right. So thank you. And so yeah, and then I think that divorce will be at Larry may be coming down the pike with that. And yeah, so I don't know what she seemed to be plummeting down a path of Farmerville. So I think Bethany, she needs to get exactly what she get. New Orleans, Louisiana, New Orleans, NOLA, definitely want to get there. Yes, I wish I went to the I would have liked to gone to Essence Fest. this week, but looks like, this year, but looks like another year. I'm not gonna make it there, but hopefully soon. Even if it's just not Essence Fest, just to go visit. I heard the food is amazing. So yeah, NOLA definitely is on that bucket list. Okay, so we're gonna get in here and talk about before we get into the Daltons, which is a huge, our main. That's like the mom and dad of Skitlanta, right? Anthony and Amber, and what they're going through with this divorce, what she's going through with. First, welcome to my channel. This is Kathy Yvette coming to you from Skitlanta with another Kountry Wayne review. We're gonna do a recap on what's been going on. Hey, Beck, hey, Jay. Hey, what's up, Jay? On what's been going on this week. And it's been good. It's interesting. Things are starting to transpire because I know definitely when it comes to the Dalton storyline, it was time for it to start progressing because it was kind of going downhill. And I think this is something that they must have listened to the viewers. They watched the comments. So Wayne's probably getting it along a little bit more because now I was wondering where was Melissa when they was in North Carolina, Amber and Dave. Now that they back, we starting to see something with her getting caught this week. So before we get into that, we're gonna shoot a little bit into the Newburgers, okay? Newburger Williams and that household. Number one, with all this constantly going on between Larry and Bethany, do you actually think that he's going to ask for that divorce? I want to know if it's going to come out soon about the Miami trip, Puerto Rico. It's almost null and void now. Then we know that Brooke's V card was taken before she go to college. Will that be revealed? There is a lot. Thanks, bro. There is a lot to unbox on that. There's a lot of things that's still hidden, and it's a secret. And after a while, the viewers are not going to really care because it's getting old. It's been a while since they've been back from Puerto Rico, right? So, are they going to progress with that storyline? Something I think has to come to a head prior to Brooke going away to college, and that's going to be soon. So, what will happen? Is she going to discover? I don't know why she has her own secret as far as Miami. Put the cards on the table at this point. Man up, laugh, and tell where you've been. Just what is it to hide when you're already contemplating? Pernell has told you. Pernell has addressed this to Shara. We know that they had the little get together this week in celebration of Brooke going to Southern University. So that's great. Let's give it up. I put it in my on my regular page. Got a lot of feedback, a lot of views, a lot of congratulating on Brooke's decision. So yes, all her niece is off to college now. They had a celebration. Larry told, asked Shara if Bethany could come. Bethany, he said, on one condition, you gotta be quiet, because Shara let it ride. Lynette was coming. They knew that was some friction. Pernell came, and of course, he threw the shade and instigated some things in true Pernell fashion, but he keeps the humor that we love in this. So, yeah, that's something that transpired, and she sat right in that corner and behaved herself. I guess she really wanted to be a part of this celebration for Brooke, so she didn't say anything. But I was thinking when this was happening, if she would hear her son, when Pernell and what's Larry's sister name? I forgot her name. And Pernell were talking about the divorce, feeling that she was going to mention that divorce, saying that she heard it because she had been listening, and Pernell mouth carries. So, what do you think about that? Do you think that she's nervous? She heard, but she's not saying anything. You think that Larry is going to bring up divorce? Now, another thing that's interesting is Pernell, how he feels about it, and the sister too. And then, a lot of people I know in the past have said that they don't think that Shara is really interested in Larry like that. We saw them have a good time when they was in Puerto Rico. That was a great time. However, she's always respected his marriage. Now, the way she was kind of talking, like, thinking that Larry was pretty complacent where he was, do you think that Shara would consider, if he actually did file for divorce and they got divorced, would she think about reconciling and rekindling things with Larry? Put in the comments if you think so. At one time, I thought it wasn't anything at all. She was in no way, shape, or form interested in Larry, but I'm not too sure now. I'm not too sure. I think she may consider it. He's sitting up there paying things for her. She got a new car. He's helping her on rent. Shara's not involved with anybody. Is she playing it cool because she respecting the fact that he got married? And then I know when they had a conversation before, she thought it was pretty messed up that while she was away, because she didn't get locked up that long. I think she was seeing some guy, and whatever he was doing, I think she got caught up into that. And I think she was only in there for a couple months, if that, but it was enough time for him to file for divorce. And, took Brooke and met Bethany, and that was that. He said, I think it was kind of messed up when I was locked up and filed for divorce. I think there is a part of Larry that's a little, maybe regrets. Maybe he was a little too caught up in his feelings and a little too quick with that decision, but he was in pain. And I think that pain and that disappointment caused him to get totally opposite and pick Bethany. Totally opposite race, personality, all of that. And I think, it was a rebound thing. Maybe on both their parts. She was looking for a protector because we know Bethany, her mouth, she needs protector. She was looking for that superhero to watch after her, have her back. And Larry has been that from the inception when he came into the skits. He was always a superhero, always coming to her defense, regardless of the man that she was getting into in the building, with tennis, with Chase. He was there to defend her. After a while, it's becoming tired because now he sees she's the brunt of everything. He's the common denominator in everything that she's done, and he's getting fed up because he winds up suffering for that. And now it's coming into the family. Bottom line is Bethany is jealous of Shara and Lynette. It was great when Lynette wasn't in the picture. The oldest son was away overseas playing basketball. Lynette wasn't dealing with Larry like that. The son came back. Remember, Christmas time. Blew up at the house. She was livid. Treated Lynette like trash. Jaden was back. Now the baby. They done moved from Montana to Atlanta. Lynette gonna be more in the picture. Shara once was locked up, came back. She was living in another state, moved to Atlanta, started having a relationship with Brooke again. It changed the dynamic of Bethany. Changed the dynamic of her core family and being in control of that. Larry had nothing else but Brooke and Bethany. I don't know. I think he may even be surprised that him and Shara's connection started being healthy and good again for her back in Brooke's life. And they start getting close, and they have great chemistry. Even with Lynette, great chemistry with his exes. That's something that Bethany never built. That's something that she don't even desire to have a good relationship with them. She just wants ownership of that. And with that being said, I think it's causing her to eat away at her. And she has a level of fear because of it. So to think that she will ever have a good, healthy relationship with Shara and Lynette, I say not. Unless she gets some type of help, some type of therapy, deal with the issues of why she feels the way she does. I think a big part of that too is Brooke became like her child, the child that she lost, the child she never had with Larry, and these two women have a child with him. And that being said, is causing a problem. That's where the envy and jealousy comes in at. So she degrades them, she puts them down. to compensate how she's feeling about what she wasn't able to give her husband. So that's something that I think we need to look at. I think that's something that is to be considered, but that doesn't excuse how vile and nasty she is to everybody that she deals with. That's not considerate. That's not being mindful. That's just not being a good person. It's not. So, yeah. I think Bethany has a lot of issues to deal with that, but she behaved herself, and it was nothing that happened at the at the celebration for Brooke. Came back, she's dealing with the situation with Greg. That came out, and now Mr. Newberger done removed her and Greg from the business and sit it down. And that was basically just a power move because he wants Greg to I guess, let go of that case against Bethany, but it's not happening. And I don't think at this point, being that there was words with Bethany Mr. Newberger had this week, it's not something that he even cares to now let go of. He has to figure out what he's going to do about Greg. Where does it stand with Bethany? Is he going to bring them back? Because, now he's pretty fed up after what Bethany did. Trying to go to the grandfather to have him removed was crazy. And she shot her own foot. She really did. Now she made it worse. Now they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with her. And she's not going to be one of the prime ones that's running the business now. What's the guy named Matt? Matt, the cousin? He's going to take over. Hi, Kobe. Bro, what happened? What you thinking? Put in the comments. What do you think about the Bethany storyline? But Mr. Newberger, you put a lot of this on you. I'm glad he finally set her straight. Now she boo-hooing and carrying on, but because the one person she thought was in her corner wasn't there for her, so she tried to get them in trouble. Now you see Mr. Newberger, what she'll do to anybody else, she'll do to you. And he told her about herself, you the common denominator. And we've been saying that forever. So now, what is that going to say about Bethany? I think it's just going to be a culmination of things. It's going to be a culmination of the downfall of Bethany getting what she deserves. This is something that has been a long time coming. And there was a skit where, what's her name? Rhonda, Candace's business partner, had a talk with her after, Ms. Newberger told her about herself. She left crying. Now, she's boiling over because of what? Something you brought on yourself. Everybody's fed up with you. This is just a start. I like to know now when that court hearing is going on. I want to know how that turns out. That's going to be another meltdown. I hope Greg wins something. And Mr. Newberger don't call in no favors. Let her get exactly what's coming. Call in no favors. You did that in Montana, let it go. Because you admitted that she's the brunt of all the problems. And that's only because she did something to you, Mr. Newberger. That's only because that's the only reason. And what do you think about that? Comment on the whole situation with Bethany. Do you think this is her downfall? Is this her karma of what's about to happen because of how she's treated everyone for such a long time? That storyline is so triggering. But now it's time for her to see the error of her ways. Interesting. But that was a joyous time watching that argument. It was. Now, we shall see. I really think Bethany got the company with her family. I think the court hearing is going to take place. That may not go so great for her. I think that Brooke, the only friend she says she has that actually talks to her in the house, one she has a relationship with, has been pretty decent with her. She's leaving. I don't know about Destiny. I don't see Destiny staying there with them while Brooke's gone. She may finish up school in Atlanta, and she's built a good friend base. The twins are gonna be gone if they graduate. They're gonna be gone. So Destiny can pretty much breathe, develop her own relationship outside of her cousin, her own friendships, and she may go with Shara. I think it's best for her to go with Shara. With that being said, it's only gonna be Larry. I said it before. Let me know what you think. I think when Larry is alone with Bethany, that's going to be the boost to say we need to get a divorce. Because I think that Brooke was the glue that held them together. I think she was the one who, he was grateful for what she did, how she helped him in Shara's absence. With Brooke, I think he's grateful for that. But at this point now, with his relationship with Shara, Lynette, now he has baby Kina and, Jaden and Callie is now in Atlanta. Bethany being in trouble and so toxic that it's going to be the best of him. And he's going to realize she's not good for my life no more. And I think he's going to finally man up and ask for divorce. How that works out, I don't know. Will that be the catalyst to change Bethany for the best so she won't lose her husband? I don't know. But that may be it. That may be it. What do you think? Do you think that he's really going to make a move and it'll be after Brooke? We still need to find out, is it going to come out about Brooke and being a virgin? Is it going to come out about the Puerto Rico thing? I thought maybe something would be said at the celebration with Pernell and Shara and Brooke over here, but it did not. And so I don't know if that's basically water under the bridge now, or is that just something that's going to be added to the argument that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back for Larry. Because once she finds out, that's going to be a whole nother thing, and that might push him. That might push him over the edge. But it is what it is. Now, to get into the second half of what I want to discuss. And put in there if you have anything to say about Bethany. Definitely. So, wait a minute.
My son's there.
Okay. Oh, boom. Yeah. So, the Daltons. Put in the comments what you think about what went on with them this week. Now, before we get into crazy Melissa and Dave, what do you think is the deal when it comes to Amber finally going to the attorney, which is good. I said it before, they constantly keep saying sign the papers. What is sign the papers? Signing the papers mean nothing. You got to go for negotiation. You got to go for a settlement. You got to go for mediation. And you to bring come up with a new settlement agreement. 50% is not going to do it. So what can you negotiate on? Maybe Amber can say, I'll take the restaurant in 40, 30, 35. I think 30%. And the restaurant is fine. Full ownership, rewrite the contract with the restaurant, give that to her in the settlement along with 30% and move on. Make your own money, go on. For 3 years of marriage or a little under 3 years, that's good. That's good. That's if they know about the other money that Darren hid. They may not know about that. Will that transpire? Now, Brittany would have found it. This woman here, I don't know if she's going to find that extra money that he hid. It could be offshore. I don't know. But it's something that may not be on the table. It may be only, what the money that she knows of, she wants 50%. But he's not going to be hurting because there's money she don't know. And if that stays hidden, he really going to still make out. And whatever he gave to her, he'll make that back. He's too much of a successful businessman not to make it back. He's just being spiteful. He don't want to give it to her. He feels she don't deserve it. Because I don't think Anthony really loved her like that. I really don't. Now, only that she's continuing to live in the house and deal with Dave, which I think is a little crazy. Amber, there's many who think that Amber should be happy, whatever with Dave. Now I'm questionable for these last few skits that went on with Melissa. No, he's not as good as people think. It was nice in the beginning, but now, I don't think so. I think it's wrong to be out all night and doing what you're doing while you're still in the house, even if you want to divorce. And as the attorney said, she said, you're legally separated. You got to know when it comes to divorces, every state is different. Some may have you okay. It's like being pre-divorced by having a legal separation, which if you was involved with other people, it's not, it won't alter the decision of your divorce. It won't be like adultery because you already filed papers. Have the legal separation as the process before the process of divorce is complete. Like you got the ball rolling, it solidifies that. Some some states don't recognize that. Legal separation, listen, you only the divorce papers finalized will save you. You go out there and do something while you married, it's adultery. This is what she's saying. You know, I will have to check into, I'm involved in family law. That's what I work in, but I deal on the children's side with neglect and things like that. Not with dissolution of marriage or divorces, but it's still family law. And I know I've looked into some family law for here in New Jersey, but it's totally different. I haven't looked into Georgia's, but from what the attorney's saying in the skit, she can go ahead. But she said, go ahead and it's not a big thing that she's involved with somebody. However, I don't know if she's saying a contradictory message, but, tread lightly, don't stay out overnight, don't bring suspicious and I guess be messy when it comes to what you're doing with somebody else. If she's doing that just to tell her to be respectful through the divorce, or that information is not necessarily totally true, that what she's doing with somebody else won't affect her divorce. But that's up to the judge. Still got to go by the law. And as an attorney, you would think she would be advising her client right. But she don't want her to be messy. That's what I'm thinking. She just don't want her to be messy. So yeah. Amber, I think control, and she doesn't know dealing with. She's out there in public at amusement parks, ran into Trey and the girl Terry Johnson, and they, that whole fiasco. He basically blackmailed her. You don't talk about me, I won't talk about you. So I don't know what kind of cousin she's supposed to be so good with Ernestine, but she sided with Trey over Ernestine. And, you did it wrong anyway, because you seem to be more with Ernestine than you was with Jay. I don't even see you talking to Jay the way you do Ernestine. That's your cousin. He didn't even know you was going through this. So come on, Amber. She ain't been Mama Brenda's to get no wisdom from her. She just strictly talking to people that would side with her in this madness. She needs to still be smart. Legal separation or not, she wasn't too sure about it, that it won't affect her until she spoke to the attorney. So really, she was just taking a gamble. She was taking a gamble. She's moving really, really crazy. And now looking at the situation with Dave, I think there's a lot she has to learn about Dave. We see the relationship with Melissa. She was caught. Oh, now before we even get into that, back up. What do you think about Anthony telling Shayla he wants her back? Is he going to keep pursuing that? She kind of nicks him off, because number one, he disrespecting the relationship she in. But what relationship? Because his mom, we ain't seen him in a month of Sundays. So he got this thing going on with Delicia and him. We ain't seen together since California. So what is going to transpire with that? He's playing games. He's playing games because he's always flip-flopping, depends on when the wind blows. 1 minute he wants his wife back. Next minute, had a talk with the father. I guess the father got back. I don't know where the father at. I guess the father went back home. Now, we were always meant to be. We was always meant to be. Anthony out of an affair. Cheating on this woman, got suckered into while you drunk to sleep with you, but you kept going back. That's cool. That's something that was meant to be. Really? That man just as crazy as she is. I still don't want, regardless of the situation with Dave, her to go back to Anthony. I don't think he's good for her. I think they just wasn't never meant to be. They got together for the wrong reasons. But bottom line is, she got to be careful with the situation with Dave. She done got caught now by Melissa. Caught by Melissa, and this girl is out of her mind. Now, you saw some of the videos I did this week calling him 50 Shades of Dave. Because if any of you seen 50 Shades of Grey, you know what I'm talking about. And I said that Mr. Dave, a.k.a. Christian Grey, Melissa is like the sub. Remember how Christian Grey had those subs? Anastasia came along. She was like a sub, had to sign a contract too, but he ended up doing something he never do, fall in love. And in that fall in love, it put her above the rest. And the other sub that he had that was like one of his main ones, along with the mother's friend who taught him all this, it pushed him to the side. She couldn't get him no more. The crazy sub was trying to attack, remember, trying to go after Anastasia because she was jealous. She was psycho. That's Melissa. So it's aligning with that storyline. So I don't know if Wayne checked out 50 Shades and trying to align that story. But I think there was an understanding with Dave and Melissa that it's strictly business. The contract she signed don't interfere with my private life. I'm gonna do what I want to do. He knows that she likes him, but he ignores that because she knows the situation. You can like me all you want. Yeah, we spent some time together, X, Y, and Z. You're faithful, you're loyal, but at the same time, we may have crossed the line. We crossed the line, but this is how it's going to be. And only because it's split. It's split that she could possibly, the things she was imagining could possibly be in her head because she's really just out there. A little crazy, a little mental, a little schizophrenic, maybe. Then again, I'm thinking 50 Shades, under contract, agreement, friends with benefits. You my personal assistant / benefits. That unspoken, you under a strict contract, set of rules. Only because I'm looking at certain things that is leaning more than that than just her imagination. One, she said when Amber came in and she found her there, she was practically butt naked, whatever. No, she wasn't. He wasn't trying to, keep her alive, not to get upset because he knows she got feelings, but she don't get into that. Don't take nothing personal. He always said business first. He mentioned that multiple times. Business first, not strictly business, not only business. Business first means what's second? Fun, pleasure. What's third? Business first means there's other things following. So if there's other things following, that leads me to believe there was something going on, and it's not just in her mind. That's the first clue. Second clue, she said, I never remember the others. I never made any trouble. The crazy one in Arizona. I was one of the ones that never made problems. Remember Christian Grey, 50 Shades. There were different subs under contract. She was the good one who kept it peaceful. She knew her place. She knows her position. You his assistant. She always made it like she was above the rest. Yeah, I may have my fun. I may have other girls, but I'm gonna stay in line. I'm gonna keep it calm. If I gotta deal with these other girls for you, if they become too much, I'll keep them in line. I'll do whatever needs to be done, as long as I keep my position. So her saying that, keeping stuff calm, like, okay, that's another clue. Something was going on. She told him, I'm not dealing with nobody else. There's only you. Why would she say that? And why wouldn't he say his follow-up should have been, okay, that's great. What do you mean it's just me? You work for me. Your whole life shouldn't just be working with me. I told you before, you need to find somebody. You've been with me 10 years, you're not involved. You should find somebody, meet a nice guy on your own, have a relationship. He didn't say nothing about her going out there having a relationship. He just looked at her and smiled. She made it clear there's nobody else but you, and that's how he likes it. He didn't rebut that. When it's just you, I'm not seeing nobody else, that should have threw you off right there to say, what does that mean? He had no response. So for me, that's saying, yeah, he got some type of agreement for her. But business first. I'm dealing with you, but business first. Yeah. So I don't think it's just in her head. Now, and one of the Cadillac followers said something. Cadillac fam said today, I forgot who it was. I'm sorry. If you hear, put in the comments if you said it. One of the brothers mentioned, I don't think that's her house, her main house. That's the second one. Where she goes, she got, this whole shrine of him with her vision board. That's the place she goes to be alone, to have her meltdowns, to maybe, just handle other business. Is there bodies buried in them backwoods? Maybe you go to torture other women that's involved with him that you want out of the way, but that's not her main house. I'm starting to think that too. I think he's been to her house. If he was at this house and saw all that, She has another one. I think this is the second one. This is the secret one. Nobody knows about it. Probably not even Danielle. Does Danielle know her sister is crazy? Does she know she's obsessed with her boss? Has she had a talk with her in the past about not being involved with anybody except, working for him? I don't know. I think there's a lot to be known about Danielle and Melissa. There's a lot yet to be discovered. But that was crazy. That was crazy. Her meltdown, her vision board. She pictured them being married, the wedding dress, got their heads on the wedding dress. Come on. That's a lot. That's a lot. What's Melissa's next step is the question. What is Melissa's next step? Let me know what you think. I don't know if she, because it always starts out with sadness, hurt, pain, tears. When the tears dry up, be careful. Especially with a woman, be careful. Because now she's concocting something else. Revenge. Will she do something to Dave's business because she's angry with him? Or will she be like, she may have done this before, because she sees how much he cares for her, which seems different than the others. I think she was sent by God. You saw her face? When he said that, I think she was sent by God. Her back was turned, and then she was like, and the thing about it is, when she had her back turned to him and she was crying, he just talked normal as if it was nothing. Not like, is there anything wrong? Haley, the crazy part. The crazy part is Melissa has seen Dave come and go with girls, either from him dating them or from her chasing them away, or even maybe her giving him advice on what kind of girl to be with. Right. That's real interesting. Because, and this is the thing, like, she was upset. She was over there crying, made an expression on her face because he said this is Amber different. And I think that really made her think he hasn't said that about any other girl. And now it's like different, sent by God. Wait a minute, this is a whole different lane now. I'm dealing with a whole different beast. Now it looks like this may be over for me. For real. No chance for me because of her. She's been quiet. She's been dealing with this with other women. Yup. She's always played that position. She's been cool. Not, she said, I don't make any waves like with the other ones. I forgot the exact word she made, but it's basically about, I've always been the calm one. She's lumping herself like with those girls, but she knows her position. Those girls didn't. So she's that confidant, dealing with him, but not dealing with him. So they got that, like I said, that understanding. She's like that sub to Christian Grey. So, I agree. So I agree with that, Lee. There is something going on. Lee, you was the one who mentioned to me about that house being a second house. I think you talked about that, right? That that's another getaway, because I can't say in 10 years that he has not been to her home to know where she lives, and I don't think it was this one. I agree with you on that. I'm trying to remember if you said that. Let me know in the comments if you're the one who said that. Yeah. So she ripped it up as if the vision board is done. Her hopes of a future with him now is done because he said that Amber is different. They connect, chemistry, all of that. So to him, it seems like he sees Amber as something special. The issue is, will it be revealed that Dave was dealing with Melissa to Amber? Will she ever find that out? There's something that's going to kick off between Amber and Melissa. Yeah. So that is something that yeah. So this is about to get crazy. This storyline is about to get crazy. I don't want Anthony to be like, I told you so, because he's gonna wind up finding out about Dave. He's gonna find out. When is he gonna find out? How are we gonna find out? I don't know. But he's gonna find out. And when he does, it's going to be a problem. Regardless of what he did, he's gonna make it harder on Amber. Will she take the attorney's advice and stop staying out overnight? Will she be a little bit more respectful, or she's not just gonna care? Or they gonna say, "Oh, I want to see you," so she's just gonna go. She needs to be smart about this. She needs to be smart about this, especially when it comes to her divorce and that settlement. Will there be a meeting with the attorneys, a negotiation, another mediation? I think so. Her attorney said she want to go back to the drawing board, draw up something to try to move this along. I hope so. But now her worst thing over anything than Anthony and this settlement, I think, is Melissa and what she is going to plot and plan against him. I don't think necessarily she wants to hurt Dave unless she feels she's really being disrespected, put to the wayside after all her dedication and loyalty, that she does something to his business to hurt it in any type of way. She may. I'm not going to say she's not capable of that. But I think her first aim and target is Amber. Amber needs to be quiet because the blessing she thought was going to be her biggest nightmare. And all of this unfolds. Will she realize that it was best to stay with Anthony? And if she does, is he going to want her then? Probably not. He claimed he want the one that was meant to be. So what do we think about that? What do we think about Melissa and her next move? And should Amber be careful? It's about to get crazy. It really is about to get crazy. So we got like 5 minutes. We're gonna wrap this up. And what do you think? Crazy. I saw they went to go check the pulse of Shayla. Because you know, Delicia was talking to Lauren. They hadn't heard from Shayla in a minute. Go over there, Shayla getting high. Getting high as a kite as always. This girl, I swear. Why Anthony last time he smelled or see what's going on is beyond me, but this girl is losing it. She don't do nothing. Talking about this is the life of a kept girlfriend. No. Not cool. No flex. You shouldn't brag about it. That's not something you should be happy about. You're a waste. You're a waste of space. That's all you can do is sit up there and just get high all day. You just better hope they don't affect Kai in no way, because the best thing that happened to you, Anthony, may not be it. And it ain't Shayla. Trust and believe. On phone them. Amanda, I don't understand what you mean. I don't know if it was a typo. Yeah, that, you know, so now we find out she didn't see anything. I don't know why she didn't see it on TV. With the game, she's always following Iman and whatever he do on television. Now we find out that her phone wasn't working. That's why she hasn't, Felicia hasn't been able to be in contact with her. She took it to Apple or whatever. Her phone been acting real weird. So she's not getting any of Candace's messages. She hasn't seen anything. So I guess that's the explanation for why. But I still don't see why she wouldn't have seen anything on her cable, whatever, on the TV. Especially that basketball game with Iman. I guess something that she didn't expect. I guess it's just an oversight. She just used to watching him on phone them grave. This is Chicago slang. Say, I swear to God. On dead homies, frequently used to vouch for truth. Oh, okay. See, that's a Chi-Town thing, Amanda. I was like, what's on phone them? When you taught me something today, I had no idea. Swear to God, yeah. On about Amber and Melissa. Yeah, that on phone them. I'm with you then, because for real, she better watch her back. She better watch her back for real. I still have to see the one. I still have to see the one where Anthony told Amber. Did y'all see that? Put in the comments. Anthony told Amber how he really feels. Something like that. I didn't see that. I gotta check that one out tonight. I don't know what he said to her. Something slick. Now this is after you done told Shayla you wanted her. So I want to know, what, did you see that one, Amanda? I want to know what you got to say to her about that. That's funny. Yeah. So that's interesting. And what else transpired after Shayla, from Shayla? One thing Shayla said to her, I'm going to be just popping up at the house, and Lauren looking like, she better not be popping up. Cause what? He got a key. Oh, he told her she being fake. Hey, Labrina. I hope I said that right. Labrina Stone. Oh, she being fake. Well, so are you, Anthony. So are you. Okay, yeah, so are you. Same thing. Because 1 minute you were saying something to her, and then you turned around. And now you're saying something totally opposite, Shayla. So, fake go both ways. Both ways. So that's real interesting. Oh, around Kai. No, I don't think so. I think she feels the way she feels about Kai. No, that's sincere. I think she cares about Kai, because we knew that she was supposed to be the godmother to Kai anyway. you know. So I don't think that's he wants to say that because she ain't feeling him, and because she's not feeling him. Oh, now she fake with the son. Come on. Bottom line is there gonna be times when you gonna need her when it comes to Kai. All that being gone and stuff, doing whatever you want. Shayla definitely like to be gone. Who else was helping to take care of him but her? So that's a lot of nerve. So I want to know if he gonna be saying anything, going back to say anything to her. I guess he got to drop Kai back off. And is he still gonna be coming at her? I wonder. Because yeah, you know different. You know different. And so, but when this pops off with Melissa, it's gonna be a mess. I know there was something. I didn't check out the ones with Ben and Danielle. I seen there was some skits with them with some things going on. That is a marriage on shaky foundation too. I don't know if Melissa's gonna say much to Danielle about Dave, how she feels about Amber, or she's just gonna take this on her into her own hands, because I don't necessarily know how close her and Danielle is. Did she reveal? Maybe Danielle doesn't even know the situation with her and Dave, the arrangements, the feelings. To that extent, has she ever been to this house to see this vision board that she had with all this stuff with her and Dave? Has Danielle ever seen that? I don't think so. Person, let me know. Do you think she's ever seen that? Does she know about this house with all this stuff, this shrine to her and Dave? You think Danielle even knows anything about that and that side to Melissa? I don't think so. I think this is a lot of stuff that's secret. I think a lot of secrets been between Dave and Melissa only. Yeah. If it turns out different, that it's all in her head, then yeah. But because of the clues that I mentioned and the things that she said and his reaction to it, I think her memories were real. It's an understanding that they've had. I think it's an unspoken word understanding. And yeah. So, but Shayla popping up, that may be how she discovers Iman and Delicia. But she said she's gonna pop up, and she trying to tell her, "Oh no, don't pop up." And Shayla gonna be like, "Why I can't pop up? Who are you saying?" Because Shayla still wanna know about that ring. You're gonna get caught with that truck over there. She's gonna roll up one day, and that truck gonna be over there. There's no reason for that truck to be over there, and Shayla's not there. And especially when she ain't been seeing Iman, and she found that truck over there, and he ain't been coming to her house. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. So yeah. So yeah, but with Bethany, the situation with Bethany, she getting a taste of her karma. I think it's sooner or later, more sooner than later. Larry may finally be to the breaking point where he gonna go out and ask her about the divorce. And girl, Pernell, like, what you gonna do? I wish he would man up and do something, because the arguments is becoming a bit too much. Enough is enough. And then you have, I think soon Shayla's gonna pop up and catch Iman. I don't know when this podcast gonna be, because you see the breakup between Tamara and Wayne. That was a long time coming. It was a long time coming. Will they ever get back together? I don't know. I don't see it. How is the podcast gonna be? How is she gonna be working with Wayne now that she's not his girlfriend? See, it was all great before. Is she gonna even want to be bothered to be in the girl's presence, or be involved in a podcast that's under his name, under his banner, and she's not his lady no more? How's she gonna feel about that? That's going to make the podcast even nastier from Tamara's point of view. Now with everything that Amber's going on, and Dave and Melissa and all this crazy stuff, that's gonna make the podcast podcast crazy. Gonna make it real crazy. What is Amber gonna talk about? What is she gonna bring up? Is anything about this affair gonna come up during the podcast? Now that what is Lauren gonna do? Now that Tamira and Wayne not together, that's her. That was her cue. That was her cue right there. When Shayla was talking, oh, they got problems. Wayne and Tamira, what? Oh, now she gonna snatch them up. She gonna put it into effect. So I'm gonna learn her some vegan dishes. Remember what Carly Red told her. And he gonna be like, oh, at least you cook for me, because Tamira didn't. Oh, that's gonna make Tamira and Lauren clash. That is going to be something for the podcast. And if Wayne come on there as a guest and be playing in Tamira's face with Lauren or something, that's gonna get nasty too. Iman, Delicia, Shayla, that three-way triangle. That's about to be crazy on the podcast. So let me know the highlight of what you think going on with this. We're gonna wrap it up. We done been on here 1 hour, and I appreciate all of you who slid on in here and joined me. Wayne's World in Skitlanta has been absolutely crazy. I think something within the next 3 days, between tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, some more craziness gonna pop up. Definitely, I see it. It's a setup. What's going on with Bethany now, with the demise of her power in the company, that falling through, marriage falling through, Brooke going out to college. That's the downfall of Bethany. I think is coming. Things popping off between Delicia, Shayla, Iman. I think that's coming to a head soon. Now with Tamira and Wayne breaking up, I don't see that getting back together. There's a lot of words with her and the father. Words with her. I don't see that rekindling. But Lauren slipping in there, that's more drama. Podcast should be hopefully be working on soon. Candace was there with Rhonda. Hopefully they getting that done. Once she finished decorating, we can get in there. We can get in there if they get their thing together. Director, producer, all the stuff that Sarah told Honey Pot, get on that. Get on that, because like the podcast wrote. And Melissa and Amber, Dave, Anthony, finding out about them, that's about to unfold. I feel it. I feel it coming. Okay, let me know. You can always see the video posted if you didn't get a chance to get on live. Comment about what I talked about, the highlights for the week. What do you think is about to transpire? And is everyone going to get their karma before the summer kicks in? We shall see. Thanks for joining me. This is the Cafe Event, and I hope you have an amazing night. Stay safe. Remember, you are enough. Stay authentically you and live your life.